The hospital administrator laughed when I asked for my mother's records. 3 hours later, the entire wing was evacuated because of a call I never planned to make. My mom collapsed during her shift at County General. They admitted her but wouldn't tell me anything. Patient privacy, they said. I sat in that waiting room for 6 hours. Every time I asked for updates, this administrator named Garrett would smirk and say, "You'll know when we're ready to tell you." At 11 p.m., I'd had enough. I walked up to his desk and said, "I need her medical records. Right now." He actually laughed. "Records? You're not getting anything without proper authorization, kid. Come back tomorrow with a lawyer." I knew something was wrong. My mom had texted me that morning saying she was going to report something serious at work. Then nothing. No calls, no texts, just silence. So I pulled out my phone and made a call, not to a lawyer, to my mom's work phone, which I had access to. I logged into the hospital's internal patient portal using her credentials. What I found made my blood run cold. They'd admitted her under psychiatric hold, claiming she was a danger to herself and others. The notes said she'd become erratic, paranoid, making false accusations against staff. They had her sedated in a locked unit. My mom wasn't sick. This was retaliation. That morning, she'd reported Dr. Vincent Reeves, the hospital's most prestigious cardiac surgeon, for sexual harassment. She had recordings, text messages, everything. But Reeves had been there 20 years. He brought in millions in donations. My mom was just an ER nurse. I kept digging through the portal. That's when I found the other files. 3 other nurses had filed complaints against Reeves in the past 18 months. All 3 were admitted under psychiatric holds within days of their reports. One was transferred to a long-term facility upstate. Another lost custody of her kids because of the psychiatric diagnosis on her record. The third one, a nurse named Patricia Cordero, died by suicide 6 months ago. My hands were shaking as I screenshotted everything. Then I found the worst part, the authorization signatures. Garrett had signed off on all 4 psychiatric holds. He wasn't just an administrator, he was Reeves's brother-in-law. I looked up at Garrett's desk. He was scrolling through his phone, completely unconcerned. I forwarded everything to the state medical board, the hospital's legal compliance team, and 3 local news stations. Then I sent it to Patricia Cordero's family attorney, whose name I found in the records. I also did something I probably shouldn't have. I posted the entire thing on the hospital's internal employee message board with a subject line: "How many nurses have to die before we stop protecting predators?" Within 20 minutes, the night shift nurses started gathering in the hallway. Within 40 minutes, day shift nurses who lived nearby started showing up. Within an hour, there were over 80 hospital employees standing outside the administrative wing. Garrett finally looked up from his phone and saw the crowd. His face went white. That's when the investigators arrived. State medical board, hospital legal team, 2 police detectives, and Patricia Cordero's attorney, who had apparently been building a wrongful death case and just needed one more piece of evidence. They evacuated the entire administrative wing for an emergency audit. Garrett was escorted out in handcuffs. Turns out falsifying psychiatric commitments is a felony. Dr. Reeves was suspended immediately pending investigation. But here's the part that still makes me sick. When they finally let me see my mom, she was so heavily sedated she didn't recognize me. They'd given her 3 different antipsychotics in 8 hours. The attending psychiatrist who ordered them, also a close friend of Reeves. It took 2 days for the medication to clear her system. 2 days of watching my mom stare at walls, drool, barely able to form sentences. 2 days of wondering if they'd permanently damaged her brain. When she finally came back to herself, the first thing she said was, "Did you get him?" I showed her the news coverage. Reeves was under criminal investigation. Garrett was facing multiple charges. The hospital's board of directors had resigned, and Patricia Cordero's family was filing a $50 million wrongful death lawsuit with my mom's evidence as the centerpiece. My mom started crying, not for herself, for Patricia. "She tried to tell everyone," she whispered. Nobody believed her. The hospital offered my mom a settlement with an NDA. She told them to shove it and hired Patricia's attorney instead. 6 months later, Reeves lost his medical license. Garrett got 4 years in prison, and the hospital paid out $140 million across 8 lawsuits from nurses he destroyed.